Hey guys, Brian and Mitch here. Before we get started on the midweek update, just kind of wanted to give a different update about Gabe Monteiro. We've talked about Gabe a bit in the past. He was a recruit of mine, just an outstanding dude. And as some of you may know, he got diagnosed with a pretty rare form of brain cancer late last year. So we just wanted to give you guys an update and hopefully give you the opportunity to. If you feel compelled to donate to his GoFundMe, him and his family could really use it. So as of March 15th, Gabe started using what's called the Optune device. The representative from Optune came out to his home to help get it set up, provide supplies, carry bags, and give all the instructions. And if you don't know, if you look it up, I've seen pictures of it. Gabe's got this. It almost looks like a stocking cap with wires all over it. And from my understanding, it's an electronic device that basically it through electrons, it helps minimize the growing of the tumors. It slows down the growth. He's been wearing this device 24/7 since then, with his wife's support, and helping get everything changed out when it needs to get changed out. He's getting used to the cumbersome device, but remains, determined to make it part of his daily routine. Despite the news, Gabe is showing remarkable resilience and hope. He's doing everything he can, staying positive through the challenges. Gabe's determination to fight this battle head on is so incredibly inspiring, man. And his willingness to share his journey with us, speaks to his strength. Gabe and his wife and family are incredibly grateful for the continued support from friends, family, and the community. Your phone calls, meals, and donations are making a real difference for them during this difficult time. If you would like to help support him and his family, we'll include a link to this, to his GoFundMe page in the episode description. Please, please, please consider donating or sharing the link to anybody and everybody you can think of to help show your support. And Gabe, brother, we're all rooting for you. Your Shielded Voices family has your back, and we'll continue to stand with you through this fight. Stay strong and know you're not alone. And personally, from Brian and Mitch, bro, we love you. Anything you need from us, just say the word. And to all of you listening, man, I'm begging you. Just go to the GoFundMe link on this and do what you can. We really appreciate it.
Welcome to Shielded Voices, our midweek update. We have, I was going to say a lot to cover, but it's similar to the same news as we give every time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, and future announcements, and want to thank everyone for listening to Brian's episode. He's gotten some feedback and some support, so I appreciate that. We'll go over the guests, like I said, and some exciting updates on our lives, like returning back to work for me, even though it was one day. I took next day off. I had my independent medical exam, which I blew through. It could be a bad thing, could be a good thing.
I think it'll be fine, dude. You've got your doctors have signed off. Like, yeah, he's fine, right? If workers' comp with this independent medical exam is just something different, they're going to be hard pressed to have any kind of merit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, she did say that I was not medically stable based off of her opinion at the time. And she asked, "Do you agree with that?" And I said, "No, I don't." But then she
not stable, station.
Right.
It wasn't
not medically stationary.
Stationary, which we're like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right. And she explained it because I disagreed with her. She goes, "No, you're making progress, and you're going to continue making progress."
Mm-hmm.
So it's not medically stationary, medically stable, whatever it was. I forget what it was.
Stationary, because it was. But in other words, it was a good thing. It wasn't. Right. She wasn't saying you're not medically stable. Being medically stationary is saying you're medically stable. You're good.
Yeah.
You're where you need to be, and you're good.
Yeah. And if anyone's curious what the process like, it's just like a psychological evaluation that we have. It's the 350 plus questionnaire that I had to answer.
The bubbles?
Yeah. But it's all electronic now. I didn't have to do the bubble sheet.
I would almost rather do the bubble sheet instead of staring at a computer for 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that's probably what made it quicker, because I could just take my fingers and press the screen super quick.
Oh, got you. Okay. I got it.
enough about that rant. Let's talk about the weather. We had some gorgeous weather.
we gotta cover weather. I mean, yeah, what's happening in the Pacific Northwest? It was 80, it got up to like 84 degrees last Tuesday, and then by the evening we were having tornado warnings.
Yeah.
The fuck, man.
Nothing happened.
Nothing. But it got colder. It got down to the 50s, and it's been raining ever since, and won't stop till July 5th.
No, that'll be fine. We need the rain.
Yeah.
We met with Jim Scott, Jimmy Ward,
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be cool.
Angela with the Siren Project. We've been busy.
Well, we talked about that, right? Like leading up to the fact with Mitch going back to work, and even though right now it's on I don't want to say part time, it's right. It's a couple of days a week to kind of just reacclimate, which is awesome. I'm so happy to hear the agencies is accommodating that and really working with you in that. That's awesome. And then I go back to work in a week, like back to banker's hours, man, Monday through Friday. So we were faced with, oh shit, we need to get some content so that we have content to put out there over the next few months, right?
Yeah, and we settled on the amount of episodes we're going to be putting out per month. It's not going to be like every week. And we've talked about this in the past, but just want to reaffirm, like, yeah, it's not going to be every Sunday anymore.
Right. Yeah, we're going to do, and that was one of the things I talked to. I had, 12, 15 people at the house over the weekend. We were talking about that. And honestly, I told them that. They're like, thank you. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, no. It's good that you guys are doing it. It just makes it very difficult to keep up because they listen to other podcasts as well, right? But because they're friends and family, they want to make sure to listen to us. But so yeah, we're doing basically what we settled on is one guest a month. But what that looks like is let's say the first weekend of the month will be part 1. Third weekend of the month will be part 2. Now, and then that's the same guest. Now, there are going to be times, I think, because we do have just a 1 hour episode that we recorded with Matt. That's just all funny shit, but that's only an hour. So that may just be one episode for whatever month, right? It just depends. It'd be hard to break that one in half. I don't know. We'll have to edit it and see.
Yeah, and I think our listeners might be mad because they want more Matt. Like, hey, this is a 30-minute episode. Let's get the full hour.
Right. Exactly. So, we actually got a lot of, like you said, we've got one of the founders of the Siren Project, Angela. Jim's got 26 years? 20?
Jim
20
Scott.
Years.
Yeah, 20 years.
20 years in corrections, like at the penitentiary level, not in a county jail. We've got a SWAT medic. And then Jimmy Ward coming up April 6th. And Jimmy Ward's got a really cool story, man. This guy, you talk about resilience, man. The hell that this man has been through in the last year. He worked. He's a state trooper for a state on the East Coast. Had some issues, I will say personally, with somebody else that worked in that department, and we won't get into that. We'll let him tell his story. But man, crazy how the politics of stuff and like kind of the things we talked about, and certain leadership people hang their own people out to dry, right? Just to save face or to optics or whatever. And another prime example, and he's better off for it. He's really come through it now. So that's going to be a cool one. He's got a lot of in-depth stuff to talk about.
Yeah. And when we talk to these individuals, we're not specifically seeking them because of the same experiences that we may have had, or that, group conscious has experienced. These people have their own experiences that are very similar to Brian, your experience, or some of our previous guests. There's one common theme, and that's just the agency doesn't really support us. But I don't want to get into that whole bashing thing, because, like I said, I've been supported through every step of my process.
Yes.
But it is weird seeing this common theme among our guests.
It is, and it's not something, and most of our guests have sought us out. I mean, yeah, there are some that we reach out to them, but most of them have connected with us through networking, through LinkedIn, through whatever. We're like, hey, we love what you guys are doing. I'd love to come on and have a story to tell. And it's very intriguing that there is a common theme across the country in, well, it's the first responder culture. It's not even really just policing. Now that we've talked to some firefighters, of the disconnect between administrative staff or command staff and the line level people. And again, Mitch, the agency you work for has been outstanding. Like, let's call it what it is. They have been outstanding in support, up to and including the response that I got for my resignation. The sheriff herself was very supportive of me and flat told me that she was proud of me. That's awesome. Like, that's leadership. That I don't mean,
Yeah.
that is leadership. Not like F you, we're the best. You don't know what you know what I mean? The typical ego stuff. There's no ego there. There was zero ego there. And I was very open and told her, man, like, you got my phone number. Here it is again. I'll meet for coffee. I've been friends with this woman for years, let alone being the sheriff, right? If she climbed through the ranks, we were instructors together, and that should never go away.
After, this might get a little bit deep. We can talk about it. We don't have to. But after your resignation and the amount of support that you got from the sheriff, do you or did you have any thoughts of, well, what if I didn't resign?
Yes.
What would have come with it?
Yes, I did. But I can be honest, very fleeting thoughts of that, right? The what ifs were plaguing me. I wouldn't say plaguing me. They didn't plague me. There was definitely thoughts of, I know in my heart of hearts, if the sheriff herself was the one that was looking into the stuff that was going on, it would have never been an issue. I know her as a person, and I know her integrity, as opposed to some other people that were dealing with it, the people that were tasked with it.
Right.
I did, yes, but I'm also, I am okay with this next chapter. I'm more than okay with this next chapter of my life. I'm super excited about this next chapter of life. It's these the people that we had over on Saturday, and Mitch couldn't make it. He had little ones to deal with, but I had very, very close friends and family on Saturday night, and it was it was a retirement party. And I got so much feedback from people about just how different I appear, just in my looks, how much healthier I look, how much I'm just different. That says a lot.
Yeah, and I'm big on energy, whether it's negative or positive.
Mm-hmm.
Walking into your house is just overwhelming positive energy.
Oh, it's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
I love that. Good. That's awesome to hear, because I can promise you, there were a lot of years it was not like that.
Sure.
Somebody could walk into this house and it would probably felt very dark. That's what we do as humans, what we're feeling, the energy we put out. But no, man, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But what about you? What are you feeling? You quasi went back to work. If you want to, we won't get into the details and in the weeds of that, because again, you still do work at an agency, and I think there's some things to protect there. But you went back last week for, kind of the end of the week for a day. How was that walking back through the doors? Was there some anxiety there?
A little bit of anxiety. I wouldn't say it was, encumbering, but just being back into a rhythm is really what I need. I need to get, I'm working light duty for 3 weeks and part-time for 2 of those weeks. So I went back on Thursday, and it was a lot of administrative work and creating passwords, resetting those. So it wasn't really it wasn't daunting. I went in there knowing that I needed to get this stuff done, and it was good. And, I was able to sit down in the precinct, and people would come up and say, hey, we're glad you're back. wasn't treated any differently. No one was scared of me because of some past, not necessarily experiences, but what the past was. But I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to get back in uniform. Might be a little anxious at times.
Sure.
But, yeah.
I mean, but I would say make that a positive thing. Remember that anxious feeling you got as a boot, that sense of excitement. I would try to channel it to that, right? That excitement the first time you hear tones go off, or you know, for me, I would make that a positive anxiousness. Now, be aware of your blood pressure, you know what I mean? All the side effects of that, but all the learning that you and I have done over this last year or 6 months or 8 months of the physiological responses. Now that you know that, so when you hear tones go off and you hear that gun call go out, and you start feeling these things, now you know, oh, I'm feeling this because, and now you've got tools in your toolbox to kind of tamper that down and still be able to focus and continue the mission.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm going to be a nervous wreck working the road.
No.
So I don't want to make anyone concerned or to think that.
Oh, Barney Fife with the shaky gun in your hand.
Yeah.
No.
I'm stoked.
Yes. Good for you. Yeah. And I said before, dude, I'm super proud of you, man. Like you put in so much work, countless days and hours of knowing where you wanted to end up in your health journey, and you're there.
Yeah.
Now what you realize is it never stops. Like we don't just go to therapy for a few weeks and be like, yep, I'm good. No, it's probably going to be for the rest of your life. I know it's going to be for me. It's going to be at least monthly, because I want to, it's like building right. You buy this property that you want all the bad guys to stay out of. And that's kind of the analogy I think of in my brain. It's like, well, I'm protecting that property. So all the work that I have done in my marriage and my family relationships, and my personal self, well, I want to protect that. I don't want to let that go again. So that's what continued therapy is. It's just it's an insurance for me to make sure that I stay sharp.
Yeah. And when I got back on Thursday, I had people within less than an hour of being there. Hey, I love the podcast. And I had no clue that, that person was listening to it. Or I had another person say, hey, I listened to your podcast. Not only did I recognize a change from episode 1 to 3 until now, I've noticed that it was very positive for you. And then he also continued to open up with his own experiences. And it's like, these are the conversations we need to have.
Yes.
It could be one-on-one or it could be a group. I have no issues sharing my story in front of a group.
Yeah.
But to hear other people's experiences, especially some of potentially of rank having experienced something similar, it just reassures you that we are human. We do experience these emotions. We're a big family. And it's good to open up about that stuff.
And again, our entire sole purpose for doing this is everything you just said. I mean, now you've got, at least a person that has opened up to you a bit. And it's like, how long have they been bottling that? How long has that person been just wanting to say something to somebody? And who knows the influence just by that person saying that to you, and that conversation was over. Maybe that was all they needed. Maybe that's it. That was enough for them to be like, okay, God, I'm so much better now. Who knows? Or maybe it's a crack in the door for them to start pushing through that door more and start seeking out their own therapy because of all the things that your experiences you've talked about on Shielded Voices.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked on the phone with another guy, and he opened up about his experiences too, and then his journey into medication. And he asked me, does your anxiety ever go away? And I said, no, it's never going to go away completely. Yes, I was on some certain medications that completely made me numb, and I recognized this is not okay. But I told him it's good to have some level of anxiety. It keeps us safe. It's those little hairs on the back of our neck that stands up that will protect us. But it's not just medication as an end-all, fix-all, be-all. It's the skills and coping mechanisms that come along with it, too, that you learn to help manage it better and recognize, okay, something is off. Let's work through this. So, man, everyone's talking about it. Everyone's opening up, and that's a great thing.
And that, yeah, exactly. And that is, like, again, that's our whole purpose. And we've been fortunate enough, even like I've always said, this fledgling little podcast that we do, but we reach people all over the country. And it's been awesome. It's been freaking amazing. It's been mind blowing, actually. And we it's not like we've got millions of followers and listeners, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. We've had a few thousand listeners.
Yeah.
Whether it's consistent or not, we've reached a few thousand people. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the point.
Right.
And it's been awesome. Yeah. And we still have people, like on the guest side of things, there's still people that we're still trying to, like, the people that we've mentioned are locked in, recorded.
Yeah.
Already recorded. We just have to get them out.
Yeah.
There's still other people waiting in the wings that we're trying to, get schedules wrapped around and stuff like that. Because obviously everybody, especially go to like East Coast, but now we've got that
time
3-hour time difference in some states, and makes it a little difficult. But we'll get there. We're never going to stop doing this. We've already talked about that, regardless of what I'm doing or what Mitch is doing. I even like I mentioned before, I said that to the new boss. Like, this is something that I'm going to always advocate for, and I will always pursue, no matter what. This is the important work.
Yeah, if anything, it's our therapy.
For sure. Yes. As well as other people's, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, cool. Anything else to add before we wrap it up?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. I think we've covered all the guests we got coming up. Just bear with us. And remember, it's just going to be one guest a month, whether that's 2-parters, maybe sometimes 1 part. We don't know. We do have kind of I wouldn't say it's a humorous one, a lighthearted one coming up, where we sit down with Matt and we just spend an hour. It's just talking about the funny shit, the funny calls, the people we've dealt with. It's just, there's nothing serious about it whatsoever. And people may not enjoy it because they kind of want some more in depth. I can promise you, this one's not going to be in depth.
No.
We're just 3 dudes sitting around laughing. Like it really is. And having to be careful because Mitch and Matt still do work for an agency, and we will always, always, always respect that. Contrary to popular belief in the past, we've never named an agency. If you can figure it out, that's on you. If you want to waste the energy on figuring it out, go for it. But we will always, I will always protect that agency in that manner. And I will always protect people in that matter if I don't have their permission to tell their story, which in the past, the people that I've told stories, because I had their permission, people just assumed that I didn't. So, yeah. I think we're cool. Good, man.
Yes.
April 6th.
April 6th and April 20th. Stay tuned for Jimmy's episodes.
Later.
Until then, take care, guys.